Yes, my people. I'm PROZECH. I hope you're well. Welcome to Chronicles, the sneaker lifestyle podcast. Now, this week we're talking to ACS Sneakers, a sneaker influencer from Preston up in the north of England. And we're going to get into everything. But before we do that, I just wanted to have a quick chat with you about a couple of bits that piqued my interest this week, if that's okay. So firstly, this week, the True Blue Jordan 1 dropped to a fairly underwhelming response. That's evidenced by the fact that I believe, if I check on sneakers right now, yeah, you can see basically 3/4 of the size run are still there. There may be a couple of reasons for that, and I'm gonna get into that right now. For those that don't know, the True Blue Jordan 1 is the design was influenced by the True Blue Jordan 3. Now, the True Blue Jordan 3 and the True Blue Jordan 1 have some very, very minor similarities, but have some fairly significant differences which may have caused the general nairness of this drop. Now, firstly, the grey. The grey's wrong. It's not the same grey. Secondly, there was no elephant print. There's elephant print on the Jordan 3. There's no elephant print on the Jordan 1. Now, there's not many Jordan 1s, if any Jordan 1s that have elephant print, but as I said, it's not there. Number 3, there's no red. And when you consider that the Jordan 3 True Blue is essentially blue, white, and grey, that little hit of red really breaks up the sort of muted tones. So yeah, the red was sorely missed. And lastly, and probably most importantly, the blue was wrong. If you compare the True Blue 3 to the True Blue 1, the blue's not true. It's a different blue, and that's fairly monumental when the shoe's called True Blue. I think that was compounded by the fact that the shoe is actually £165. 165 pounds. Nike, why? First drop of the year, no effort whatsoever. Like, you need to do better. Better stories, better marketing, more effort on the design, better color blocking. Everything needs to be better. That's an L. That's your first L of 2023. To be fair, you've given me about 1 million L, so 1 L from me to you is not going to really make that much of a difference, I suppose. Now, moving on to better things, in my opinion, still including Nike, but I think this is a really good piece of news and something that made me smile. Clint from Cortez, the UK streetwear brand, has announced an upcoming collaboration with Nike. Now, that is monumental. It's monumental for a number of reasons. Number one, up until now, you'd be faring sort of pigeonholing Cortez as a tracksuit brand. They have done a few other pieces, but for the most part, they do tracksuits. They're fairly big in the UK, but they're not really well known outside of the British Isles. And ultimately, Nike taking a chance on Cortez and building this relationship is actually awesome. It's really, really cool. And I think the reason why they've done that is because of how much emphasis Cortez have put on their fan engagement, their customer interaction. The way I was introduced to Cortez was through that drop where they encouraged people to bring their North Face puffer jackets, their Gucci's, their Pradas, their Louis Vuitton jackets, and swap them for Cortez jackets. And people did it by the thousands. Like, it was unbelievable to hear. And from myself, I'm a marketing guy. I love a good story. And it's all about how you connect with your target audience, how you connect with your people, your tribe. And Cortez have shown that they have a real deep relationship, a real clear line of communication with the people that follow them. And that my friends, is currency. And that is something that a brand like Nike will look at and say, you know what, we want a little piece of that. So Nike attaching themselves to Cortez is a smart move, because ultimately it allows them to hitch their wagon to a brand that has amazing customer engagement, fan engagement, and also has an upside because they're a UK streetwear brand. They've already got a decent clientele. They've already proven themselves in terms of being able to deliver. Now comes the real test for Cortez. Because all eyes on you, my guy. All eyes on you. You're going to need to deliver an amazing collection. Okay. You're going to need to definitely select the right silhouettes in terms of if they give you a shoe. We're definitely going to need to see the right silhouette. There is a lot of opportunity because ultimately Nike do streetwear and Cortez do streetwear, so there's a lot of crossover there. I think the most exciting part of this is going to be the shoe, I'm going to be honest, and I hope they smash it. The other part of this where they really need to show themselves and give a good account is how they drop. It can't just be on sneakers. It can't just be a regular style drop. It needs to be something fairly monumental. It needs to be something big, because all eyes on you, all eyes on Cortez. People are going to be looking to this as a massive introduction to the wider fashion industry. They're going to be expecting big things, and I personally think Cortez can deliver because they have done. They've got a great track record in being able to deliver drops that really capture the imagination of their customers, of their fan base. So I think they'll knock it out the park. And if they've got the right budgets, if they've got the right collection, if they've got the right designers, if they've got all of this stuff going on for them, this could be really good. So congratulations to Cortez. I hope this is a smash. I'm really looking forward to it. I'm here for it. The fact that Nike has acknowledged Cortez as a leading UK streetwear brand, I think is absolute kudos to Clint and the man them over there at Cortez. I'm just hoping that they really give you the opportunity to design what you want, to select the silhouettes that you want, and to deliver the way that you want to deliver. I believe in you. I believe in what you're doing, and I support it. And I'm here for it. I'm here for it. I'll be watching every step of the way and hoping that it bangs. Now at Chronicles, myself and a guest will take a cheeky stroll through their kick history and mosey all the way up to the modern day, to what they currently have on feet. Our focus isn't on how big your collection is. If you've got a big selection, that's amazing, right? Not a bad thing whatsoever. But that's not our focus. It's not about how big your collection is, but it's how deep your connection is to the sneaker culture. And I believe this week I've got a guest that has an amazing connection to the culture. Once again, my guest is Aiden, aka ACS Sneakers. One of the reasons I wanted to speak to him is because I've been a fan of his channel on YouTube. He's got a channel on YouTube where he reviews sneakers. Been a subscriber for a while, and I definitely, when we started the podcast, definitely wanted to get him on. One of the things I love about him is his accent, and I banter him about that accent. The way he says the word video is is unbelievable and banter worthy. But yeah, we talk about everything, man. We talk about his love for his favorite shoe is the Air Max 90, so we get into that a little bit. Currently he's obsessed with the Air Max 1. Aren't we all? We all love an Air Max 1, and they're definitely having a moment, and long may that continue. We talk about the shoes that were really popular in his area growing up, what he currently has on feet, his newest shoes, his oldest shoes, his rarest shoes, that sort of thing. We also talk about Adidas. Obviously, many of you will be aware of what's going on with Kanye and stuff, but it throws up an interesting question, and he had a really interesting take on the idea that how they've treated Kanye and their plan to obviously still utilize their IP in terms of the Yeezy brand, how that could possibly affect them attracting collaborators in the future, designers of that similar caliber in the future. Really, really interesting views, really, really interesting take, and ultimately, I believe, a great interview, an awesome guest, one that I hope to speak to again in the future, and an interview that I hope you find interesting and entertaining. Now, with all of that being said, I'm PROZECH. This is Chronicles, and our guest this week is Aiden, aka ACS Sneakers. Enjoy. ACS, welcome to Chronicles. What's kicking,
I
my bro?
appreciate you having me on, bro. It's good to be here.
In every single uni up and down the country, there's an ACS. Did you know that?
Didn't know that. I didn't.
ACS actually stands for the Afro-Caribbean Society. So I was slightly thinking that you was a brother. I was slightly thinking you was a brother, but it's all good, man. The ACS. What does ACS actually stand
It's
for?
a little bit of an insider thing. I've actually never told anybody this, but like during COVID, when we was coming up with the channel, and it was like a concept. It was, what should we call it? And I wanted something that seemed like official, so I couldn't think of anything. So I just took my initials. Adidas standing sneakers because it's the channel is just my sneakers in it, so it's like the ones I review. So
I mean, talking sneakers, we're here in Kicks Chronicles. Let's take it right back to the beginning. So, what was the first shoe that said to you, you know what, I've got to have it, man. I've got to have this shoe. It was the one that spoke to your heart, Eden. The one that was like, you know what, man, if you have me, everything's going to change. Everything's going to go perfect. You're going to be walking on air. All of that jazz.
See, that's a tough one. There's like two. The main one, the first one that really set it off was, I don't remember the colorway. I remember the shoe though. So like back in the day, because I still live on the same council estate that I grew up on. I moved around a bit, went through my teens, but I've come back to my original council estate. And every one of the olders that lived on my estate wore TNs. And I just remember thinking, yeah, I was like, listen, if I want to be that guy, I need a TN. So I went to my mum. I asked her for a pair. She laughed me out the living room. Not a chance was I ever getting a pair of TNs. She said she didn't want me to dress like them. So that was one thing. And she said, I'm not paying that kind of money for these shoes. So that was the one. Yeah, TNs is definitely the one that set it off. But I never got a pair. Never. Like that was the one that was just like, I swear I got my first pair of TNs like 2 months ago.
They were popular in a real like powerful way during like the 90s, early 2000s and that. But like I suppose obviously they probably fell out of favor with some people, and then there's people like us that remember him from when we were younger, growing up, and it's got that real nostalgic feel to it, and they're bringing them back, and it's nice. I don't know whether I'd go as far to say that they're retro, because I see some of the colorways that they're bringing out are a bit different, but the actual idea in America, I think they were called the Air Max Plus.
I think it caught me out that at first, because like Air Max Plus, like nah, that's a TN, that.
Yeah, that's a TN, man. It's one of those things that I love in terms of the sneaker culture, because like it's so specific to an area. Like you got one area that refers to them as TNs, another area refers to them as Air Max Pluses. You've got the 95. Some people call them 95. Some people call them 110s. You get me? Like all of them ones there. Like I love all of that stuff, and it also like, as much as it differentiates people, like you're from this place and you're from that place, it brings us together because we know we're talking about the same thing. Like it's like a language, a dialect that we talk, and it's like, oh, I know you're from so and so because you say it like that. So I like that kind of. In talking about that, because obviously you're from Preston, and that's up north. You get me? Respect that. You get me? Respectfully, that's up north. I'm a down south man, but I love that up north, man. I love the whole of the UK. We love all of that. You get me? It's one of the reasons why I had to get Aiden on, because he's a representative of the north, man. We have to respect that. But in your ends, though, you were saying about the TNs. Was that the shoe that kind of represented your ends when you were growing up, or would you say?
Oh no, most definitely with TNs, 100%. Like, see, I've lived around a few different places, and like you said, with the 95s, like, I remember when I was in Liverpool for a minute. Like I've always called them 95s, but everyone in Liverpool calls them 110s. So that I never even understood what a 110 was. I just called them 95s. But yeah, definitely the TN for the, like, the thing is, when you're a certain age range, the TN was definitive of like who you are. A lot of the older people, like actually like mums and dads, they never, like, even now, like when I'm going to the school with my kids, like people don't care about trainers when you get to a certain point around here. But like if you was anybody, you had a pair of TNs, and unfortunately I wasn't anybody, so I didn't have a pair of TNs.
Me too, bro. Respectfully, I was not in that group.
Listen, I was in Reebok Classics, mate. I had the white and the black pair.
Hey, bro, that's for me. That represents my ends, man. I'm from Bermondsey, Southeast London, man. Shout out. It was the pinnacle. That was it, bro. If you had Reeboks on your feet, you were 7 feet tall, bro.
I was in the wrong ends, innit? I was
tall.
over the wrong place.
You would have been the man down in my size, I'm telling you. Bro, talking about like what we could get and what we couldn't get, one thing I always need to know, right? I call this the unholy grails. I had to go through it. I don't know whether you had to go through it, right? I'm talking about shoes like plimsolls and golas, ball boys and high techs. You get me? Yeah. Respectfully, with all due respect, Dunlop and Avia, Ascot. You get me? Them kind of. Did you ever have to go through that?
Big time. Listen, I remember I didn't get to shop. Like we didn't obviously. JD is like a new thing. But I remember JJB Sports. Do you remember JJB Sports?
Shout out JJB. I know what it was before it was JJB. It was Sports Division before it was JJB.
My age,
brother? Now for real, because I'm an elder statesman. You get me?
We weren't allowed JJB. I mean, that was even too expensive for us. Like, but yeah, I've like, listen, I've said it before. Like, I shop for my school shoes on. Do you know what I mean? Like, and a lot of my shoes were Reebok, but that was what mum could afford, which I still thought back in the days were decent because she'd always get me a black pair to mess about in and a white pair to go on somewhere nice in. The white ones always stayed pretty clean because we never went nowhere nice, but at least it was there. Do you know what I mean? But yeah, like other than that, like I wore a lot of I wore Fila, I wore Lonsdale. I remember wearing Champion when Champion was wet. Like people used to rinse wearing Champion.
Oi, that's true. That's true. We don't like to rewrite history here. We have to be real. We have to be honest. Champion, obviously, they're doing all right now. You get me? Even right now, they're they're floundering a little bit. But there was a minute where they were super hot. Back in the day, they were trying it. You get me? It was one of them things, and people who had them obviously had to have them. It was one of them. For me, it's never a thing of, oh, what a shame, or it was so sad. Nah, man, that's just part of the game. You have to charge it, bro, because for you to respect, like, look at your wall, bro. Look, you got. I would say Air Max 1s to the eyeballs, my G. Every Air Max 1 that came out this, he's got concept behind his ears. I can see it. You get me? He's playing games with us. You get me? Like, so he's up now. You get me? It's a celebration. It's a celebration, you get me? But we have to know where we came from, so we need to know where we're going, you get me? So, we love that, man. Talk to me about the first pair of shoes that you bought for yourself.
I wear a hype one, I swear it was just like a regular 90. But back then, like, I don't necessarily remember the first pair that I bought myself because, like, there was a period where I went through, like, needing all the hottest clothes and shoes when I was about maybe 10 through 13. But then when I hit 13, my Xbox 360 came in, so I just gave up on clothes and shoes, bro. Like, I looked like a tramp. Like, just the focus shifted. Like, it was all about COD and FIFA. So for a minute, I was just wearing literally the deadest shoe. People were rinsing me. And then when I started to really get back into like looking like a human being again, part of society, and I started focusing, I started to buy a lot of 90s. Like the 90s, my all-time favorite shoe of all time, the Air Max 90. It's just always been like definitive for me. And I remember I paid £170 for the boot ones. I don't know if you remember the boot ones.
Wow.
Do you remember them? You know what I'm saying?
I do remember them. And
that was the first time back and be like, I've just paid £170 for these. Like,
wow. For Air Max
90. It was. I don't even know. They were the deadest shoes I've ever. They hurt. They weren't comfortable. Bro, they were ugly.
You were tweaking, bro. When you went for those, bro, you were fully. You were on that hype train.
It was a bad time. Listen, my shoes, bro. I go through my timeline from time to time, and I see them. Like, I remember there was a time where I used to wear nothing but check shirts, like flannel shirts, and I wore like these Ralph Lauren plimsolls, bro. I'm just like the dress sense for me has just evolved with my age, like, and I feel like I've just kind of been trying to find myself and where I fit. So yes,
You
I've been
like
through a
it?
few different states. Even now, like my current collection's in transition. Like you've mentioned the Air Max ones. If we'd have done this last year, this would have all been Jordans. Like every pair of Jordans. And that's not to say that I don't like Jordans anymore. They're down the bottom, they're at the sides, but like Air Maxes kind of brought me back to where I originally started, and that's like where I'm at now. I feel like I've just been trying to experience everything all at once, maybe a bit too much at once, to be fair.
Talk to me about Air Max Ones, man. Air Max Ones and Air Max 90s, because this year I think was a
Absolutely, yeah.
great year for the Air Max One, especially. Like I really feel like the Air Max One doesn't get enough respect, bro. Because especially from a height perspective, and that's not the I suppose the indicator for whether a shoe is good or not, whether it's hype or not. That's not the indicator. It's whether people like it or not, what it makes you feel. You get me? It's the
Yeah.
connection you have to it. But like this year, Patter went
Yeah.
in on the Air Max One. Obviously, concepts, the Casino pack as well. Like there were a few for me that were crazy. You get me? Like real quick, because I know you can. Can you give me a top
For this year.
three Air Max? Yeah. You could throw Air Max 90s in there as well, but obviously Air Max ones for me went in this year. But yeah, Air Max 90s or Air
So
Max ones
my top three that
for
I
this
picked
year.
up was I actually just recently did my top 10 video, so it's quite off the top. So in at number three,
I like that.
I'd probably put a Silver Bullet 97s. I waited for that shoe for a long time, so I finally got them. In at
Yeah,
number
come
two
on,
would be the
boy.
Concepts pack. Absolutely love that pack. All three of them are sick. I don't
Yeah,
know if I can swear. They're sick.
crazy.
I didn't know that.
No,
I'm
no.
sorry.
Trying to demonetize my
Just bleep
take, bro.
that one out. Jesus Christ. And then
No,
Casinas would be
no
my
worries,
number
bro.
ones. I know, for me, there's
Yeah,
something
the
about the
casino were
casinos. I don't even know
crazy.
what it is. Maybe it's just because I'm a little bit of a sentimentalist. I have a lot of sentimentality. That's the word I was looking for.
Sentimentalist.
Yeah.
Come on.
So I'm about to celebrate my 10-year anniversary with my missus, and obviously it's talking all about love and
Hey,
being together and meaning something. So I was like, right, that shoe's kind of speaking to
hey.
where I'm at in my own life. So I was like, right, that's it. Just I just had to have it. I had to have it, and then sneakers give me L's on both, and I was fuming. Oh, I was fuming. Could not believe it.
Bro, yeah, it's
I got him
nuts.
in the
It's
end though. I did get
nuts.
both
It was
pairs. Luckily, my
nuts.
missus came through
Yeah.
for the orange ones, and then I got the other ones off eBay. Shout out to them. Need that sponsor from eBay. I'm spending too much money with you guys.
100%. We're gonna get into that, because I think one of the things that I wanted to ask you, because like seemingly, obviously, I'm subscribed to your channel, and everybody that's watching this, make sure you go and subscribe to ACS Sneakers on YouTube, especially, and get them numbers up. But like, bro, you get everything. And the thing is, I know whenever I say this to a sneaker guy, they're like, "Bro, you don't know. Like, obviously, I don't get everything, and I know you don't get everything, but bro, you get everything, right? You've literally posted on everything, and I love it, bro, because your reviews like are really cool. They're really really like shot really well. Like it's a real like treat to watch your videos, and I say that with all due respect, not just saying that because you're here, bro. You already know that I comment on a lot of your things. So you see my face popping up here and there, you get me? But like, how are you copying your shoes, bro?
It's an endeavor. It's definitely an endeavor. It's like one of them things where you've got to be like super organized, and you got to try and like hide it from the missus as best possible because she hates this. She is Air Max enthusiast, so she was thrilled when I was moving kind of away from Jordans and back to Air Maxes because we always used to rock Air Maxes together ever since we've known each and I kind of went a different way with Jordans, and obviously Jordans are more expensive than Air Maxes in most cases. So when I kind of transitioned back to Air Maxes, she thought, "Oh, he's going to go back to his old ways. He's going to start slowing down." Ah, nah, I ramped it up. I'm buying more shoes than ever because Air Maxes are so much more affordable. So it's the margins are better.
It's
Like so,
true.
like if I'm
It's
buying
true.
like for example 2 pairs of Jordans a month at 180 to 200, I'm buying 3 pairs of Air Maxes for that, so the volume's more. And like, as you mentioned for this year, they're having a moment with all these collabs that you're not only getting more shoes for your money, you're getting better shoes for your money because they're putting more like better materials. Or even on the GRs, the materials have been mental. Uh,
They've
every
been
one of like
really, really
GRs like
good,
Crepe
bro. Really
Hemps
good.
and Dirty Denims coming with lush materials. Like we don't get that unless we get collab J's. Do you know what I mean? So it's kind of like, or we get like OGs and stuff. So like it's really difficult. So I'm in every raffle. The missus, she is constantly coming in clutch. I don't know what her sneakers app is doing, but she gets everything. She got like,
Bro, she
listen,
might need to holler at me, bro. I'm running there. I need some help. My sneakers app is in. I'm shadow banned. Did you not know?
I swear I am. I get nothing.
My name is like Bud in Nighttown, bro. I can't go there.
We probably spend more. Like, she doesn't buy that much. But anything she buys is for me, or she buys and sells stuff more from Nike. Like she's more into like the general release Air Maxes. So they never go on to sneakers first. So she goes on sneakers. She's buying me something on my kids. So her entire list is like, you go through the list and you see things like, she got the 11s for my son recently, those cherry 11s. She got them. What else did she get for me this year? Obviously, she got me the casinos. She's hit like concepts. She's hit. What else has she got? Like, but just a bunch of stuff. Like today, she got the lobsters. You know what I'm saying? Like, and she got me my cool grey 11s, and like all these things come from her. So she massively helps. And as well, at the same time, I feel like it's good to like build relationships with people that will enter for you. Like, I feel the more my audience is growing and the more my core audience is kind of cementing themselves. I contact, like, if I, like, for example, there's 2 Air Max ones coming out next week. I got like 10 messages this morning saying, "Do you want me to enter for you?" Which is dead nice, don't get me wrong. But I'm just like, wow, hold on, guys. I'm not that rich. I can't commit to paying 10 years if you all win. So, like, I'm not one of them people that says, "Oh, enter for me," and then just duck your message when you win and if I've won. So if I'm going to say to you, "Oh, please enter for me," even if I win, I'm buying your shoe. Do you know what I mean? I have to do it. I've made a commitment to you. You've pledged me your money. I'm going to put my money where my mouth. I can't be doing with that. Like, I could never say to a perfect stranger who's like, "Oh, I've got him and I won him for you. Congratulations, you've got him." I don't need him, bro. Send him back. Nah, I can't. You know what I mean? It's a bit of a liberty in it. So
that's terrible, bro. No, I get you, bro. I get you, and that's another thing, man. One of the things that I really respect about your grind, obviously, with this YouTube and the whole sneaker influencer vibe is that looking through your comments, yeah. Because what I wanted to do, yeah, what I wanted to do is I wanted to roast you small in it. I wanted to go through your comments, find a couple naughty ones in it, and use them in it, and just be like, remember this, bro. I'll look through your comments, bro. I was there for ages. Comments are so nice. You got lovely comments. Like, I'm so jealous, bro. Because if I showed you my comments, you understand. If I showed you my comments, you will understand, bro. You get me? Like, but yeah, man. So it just speaks to the relationship and the engagement that you have with your audience, bro. Like, there's people out there that are really supporting you. So it does not surprise me that people are hollering at you and saying, "Bro, I'll win this shoe for you. I just need that review, man." And shout me out on your channel.
That happens a lot. A lot of people offered me like recent releases, like the Lost and Found. Like people were saying, "Do you want to review my pair?" And with the Royal Mail situation, I was a little bit like, although I appreciate it, but like if that shoe gets lost, I'm buying you a pair resale. Do you know what I mean? So luckily enough, size came through, so we were able to clutch a pair anyway. But yeah, like people reaching out and saying like, "Oh, do you want to review my shoe? Do you want to buy these?" Or what? Like the relationship I built from like offering people like retail dubs and people doing the same for me. I think like building like what we're doing now, building relationships with people, just in the long run makes this thing more enjoyable anyway. Because just buying shoes over and over 100%. Again is repetitive. Anything in life, it's like watching the same movie over and over again. Although you enjoy it, it's just like it's going to get to a point where the buying the shoes isn't really the fun of it. It's the community aspect. It's the like celebrating together, you know, taking L's together. Do you know what I mean? Like the anticipation building together. And if I'm not doing that, it kind of loses its value a little bit. So I feel like the community is definitely coming together. We're growing. We're just about to hit 500,000 views, which I know for a lot of people is nothing, but to me that's mad.
Respect.
It's huge for
me.
Massive,
bro.
And people do rinse me. I will be fair, but it's more about the accent, especially with word like when I say certain words. Like people get at me when I say Nike. And they're like Nike, and I'm like, and I jump between the two because I hear people saying Nike, and I jump between the two, and especially video as well because I elongate the E and the O. They're like
video.
Exactly.
Welcome to the video. That's the one, bro.
It's gonna be like, welcome to the video, bro.
Oh, bro, I love that, bro. That's what I turn up for, bro. That first 10 seconds is in. I'm in, bro. That's how you got so many views, bro. That video thing is so sick, bro. I love it.
Bad, man. It's just like
I
a
love
mix
that,
between
bro.
like Peter Kay and Andrew Flintoff. But oh man, it's been going really well. So
man, what's your goal in terms of YouTube? Like when you started YouTube, yeah, take me back to the beginning of YouTube. Like when you started it, what were you aiming to achieve? And then now, as you've been in it for over a year, what are your goals?
When I started YouTube, it was literally just as COVID hit, and I was binge watching Tom Stefanik. I don't know if you've ever seen his channel. I was obsessed with his videos, like, and him and Seth Fowler. I've always watched Word Testers and Tony D2 Wild and all these guys. And I'll be honest, I thought, you know what, this is the one time in my life where I'm not working because I'm on furlough. I'm getting paid to be on furlough. So if I'm ever going to take the dive, because I've always been interested in sneakers, but I've never been able to afford them up until literally the time I started my channel. And it's like people see the progression in terms of the numbers, in terms of the shoes we're buying. But if people go back to my first video, this is a plain painted beige wall. I literally have no shoes. I reviewed the only pair of shoes I'd bought, which was the Jordan 1 Pine Green 2.0s. I had one pair of shoes, literally, that wasn't like a beater or, you know, so we built the channel as we built the collection. And I kind of just wanted it to be an opportunity for me to kind of get to know people like myself, because obviously, especially with COVID, I just had a baby. I know you have as well recently. And you kind of get shut in a little bit, don't you? You get yourself in a routine of the kids' stuff, the missus stuff, the house cleaning. But then at the end of the night, I didn't really have a lot for me, like something that I could have as my own thing. And I feel like it's good just in terms of your own mental health, in terms of your family's well-being, that you just don't tie all your eggs in one basket, really. Do you know what I mean? Because you can overcommit, and then like if they want to do their own thing, you're a bit too eager to be in their thing. So I was like, right, what do I enjoy? I enjoy football, but the shape ain't helping me. Do you know what I mean? I'm a big guy, so I was like, right, we can talk about shoes. And I remember the conversation like it was yesterday. Like I went to my missus and I was like, I want to go and buy this camera. And she's like, why? And I'm like, I want to do shoe reviews. And she goes, all right. So I started telling her the layout of the land, like the price of everything. She's like, we're in COVID, right? You know you're on furlough, right? And I was like, listen, if I've got savings, if we can go and do this now and see where it goes. And I've spent more money than I told her we would, a lot more. But yeah, I'm in it now, and it's just like, in terms of where I see it going, I think I just want to keep building. I don't want to put any pressure on it to the point where it gets to a point where if I don't hit the milestones, then I give it up. Because there are people in the community like yourself. I see your videos all the time, that interviews with the shop. I see people like Scopes just doing his reviews, doing his Erkin as well, Life of Broski. I see all these guys doing so well. And I just think to myself, well, I'm maybe not as charismatic as Erkin or yourself or even Scopes, but I feel like there is a niche in the market for a bit of a gruff northerner. Do you know what I'm saying? Like,
bro, 100%. There's space, my guy. 100%. No, I back that 100%. I love your videos, bro. I've told you a million times. Like, a lot of people that are watching this won't know that we first met on the SWO podcast. I got invited in as a guest. A shout out all of them, man. Shay Cray, Patrick. Big up Patrick team, man. I love that dude so much, man. And obviously Ashley as well. Like, so yeah, man. When I heard your voice and I was like, bro. And then I heard your story. Yeah, I heard what you were talking about. And a lot of it resonated with me, and I was like, "This is one of the reasons why I love the sneaker community, because you grew up up north, I grew up down south, but a lot of the things we're talking about are similar. And what brings us together, what gives us common ground, is the love that we have for this culture, bro. It's the connection that we have to these kicks, and that's what I love. I love the fact that me and you can be on a call together, just chatting kicks, and you could probably be here for the next 7, 8, 9 hours, bruv, just going back and forth, reminiscing on all the kicks that we've loved over the years, man. But just the fact that we're in this industry, that we're in this community, and there's literally like pretty much just love. You get me? Like on these, like, and this is the reason why I was talking about the mean comments, because like, bruv, some people are on there just for the banter, innit?
Yeah.
So I never take anything seriously. So like, so so for me, people go like, because I do on feet, and this is one thing I noticed that you don't do, right? And I know why you don't do it, because everyone's guarding my toes, bro. Everyone's guarding my feet. They're like, bro, you got 2 sizes too small, bro. Those shoes are screaming, all of that jazz, bro. And I'm like, bro, I don't need this, bro. Man's mental health and that, but I don't take
the
it
thing
seriously.
on feet as well. I get that comment all the time, which people say, "Oh, it's a wicked video, but it's not a great video, or because it doesn't have the on feet." And I'll be honest, when I used to do on feet, but the problem is I live in a shoebox, bro. You know, what I mean? I live in a tiny space,
it's the
and
space
like
to
in
do
order
it.
for me to do it, I don't have the best lenses to kind of do short range. So like I have them quite up close to me. So because obviously the space I'm in. It was always a case of like it would cut at a certain point, which would look weird. So you'd have a bit of calf, a bit of ankle, and then a shoe. Whereas these guys have these really nice, like far out lenses, and you can kind of get a sense for the fit. You can get a sense for the background. It's all laid out ideally. If I go into a bigger space than where I'm currently recording now, all you're gonna see is toy prams, like toy kits. You're gonna see Lego sets and all these other kind of things, and it's just like I want my videos to be scenic. So this is why I'm trying to create this like this point of view of I'm your reviewer, I am your host. Basically, you've not come for me. You haven't come to this video for me. Unless you want to, because you know we're like that. But you've come for the shoe, so the onus is on the shoe, bro. You might think I'm ugly, you might think I sound stupid, but like that don't mean nothing. The shoe is the focus. So that's why I kind of went a different route, because you know, and as well, like, bro, the stress I used to have trying to figure out what was the right pair of jeans for that Creps. I'm not very.
It's true, bro.
I'm literally wearing denim jeans and a Nike tee. People rinse me for that. I'm like, bro, this is a nice casual thing, bro. Do you know what I mean? Like, so the whole fashion element of it kind of just ruins it for me. Whereas, like, I like putting a fit together and putting it on IG because people will love it or hate it. It's fine. But on YouTube, they will come for you. Do you know what I mean?
Bro, I don't know what it is about YouTube, man. I don't know what it is. People like literally, like obviously people like to troll, and I think some people are out here just for banter, in it, like I said earlier, man. But like I had some people write me some long messages, like messages that they may have had to stop halfway, get a drink of water, and come back to bro, like 2-page letters, bruv, like craziness. And I'm thinking, bro, it's just shoes. What are you chatting about? It's just shoes, but it is what it is, bro. It is what it is. I feel like with this game, like, and obviously we understand it on the level that we're on. Imagine if you were like 100K deep, a million deep, like obviously it's just mad, isn't it? It's just one of them things where you got to understand what's that's the reason why I asked you why are you doing this, and it has to be more than just like oh, I want to be liked by people. I just want to. No, bro, there needs to be something at the heart of what you're doing. You get me? Like there needs to be something anchoring you down, because the hate is gonna make you think like this is long, but the love keeps you going, and that's one thing that I really respect, man. There's a line of questioning that I've got. It's a section called the EST and KIC. When I say EST, I mean the oldest, the newest, the expensivest, the cheapest, the best. That kind of vibe. What's your newest pair?
Ooh, that's a good question. You know what? I don't actually have it to hand, but it's the Adidas Forum Law, the Grinches. It's actually in a box. Yeah, that's the latest pair that we've got. My God, they are well good. They are really except the do you know, like with forums, you can normally take off the strap. You can't. They've sewn it in, and I'm fuming.
What, is it sewn in?
Like the strap just time I think.
Adidas keep on making mistakes.
Strap, it might just be me being a bit weird, but I just hear Macklemore's voice going, "Oh, you got the Velcros," and I'm dead. I can't do it, man. I'm 26 wearing a Velcro shoe, man. It's yeah. I remember wearing Velcro.
I remember wearing Velcro shoes when I was like in primary school. I've got issues with Adidas at the moment. We could touch on that for a minute, actually. Like, why not? Like the whole Kanye.
I've been a fan of Kanye since I was little. I remember listening to, you know, is like my favorite album of Kanye is College Dropout. That's my favorite one. I do love Graduation and all his other ones and stuff, but College Dropout for me was my favorite, and I've always been a fan of him and his music. His fashion endeavors is just not spoken to me other than Yeezy. I love his Yeezy brand. Well, I loved his Yeezy brand, I should say. It took me a while to come around to it again, but I've kind of seen him develop this brand into this massive like Goliath that could take on Jordan brand, which no one else was doing. And then to see the demise, the man's lost his wife, his children, his legacy in terms of footwear, his music is being brought into disrepute. He's lost his ability to. It's a lot, and like as much as like people can laugh at the situation or whatever. It's a little bit to see a man completely lose everything around him. It's hard to watch. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, so I don't know if he is mentally unwell. I don't know if he needs help, but I feel like somebody that rich and that famous needs to have somebody in his ear guiding him, talking to him, getting, helping him, because like he's saying things that he's saying. Like, he was interviewed on this, I can't remember the name of the podcast, and he was talking about how he loved Nazis. I just don't understand. Like, that doesn't even feel like, that just felt like Kanye's voice with a mask on. Like, it could have been somebody else. It's just mad. I'm concerned about him, and I would never want to see him not be here, not be around to see his kids grow up, not even get to see his kids grow up. You know, all those kind of things. Like, as a dad, as we both are, like, the legacy we leave for our kids, he's casting a shadow over his children's future, because they'll always be, oh, your dad's Kanye West. Did you eat these things and them things? And it's concerning, and I just feel like Adidas did the right thing getting rid of him. I'm surprised it took him that long.
From a designer's perspective, you bring a designer in, especially one of the notoriety of Kanye, and you start copycatting his 100%. Stuff. Like, it's a low blow. And I suppose, like you said, it was the straw that broke the camel's back. The idea is now that, quote unquote, Adidas own the IP. So they're suggesting that in 2023, they're going to start bringing out Yeezys.
At the end of the day, we weren't buying Yeezys because of Adidas. We were buying them for Yeezy. Like, the designs were so innovative and they were so different, and they 100%. Offered something like Adidas owned that sock, like, shoe era. So the NMDs, obviously the Yeezys, they all tied into one. They had the Ultra Boost, yeah. They've had their moment.
Ultra Boost, yeah.
That 100%. Moment's passed, and Yeezy was holding them afloat. They even said themselves in the press releases 100. That they're going to lose a lion's share of their estimated revenue. And I feel like when you take away the Supply 350, you take away the Yeezy brand itself, because you can have, it's hollow to me. That feels hollow. That doesn't feel any different to buying a fake, because it'll be manufactured in a way to look like its original form, but it's not the original form because it doesn't have the original branding.
For me, it's not even about the branding, because it can't have the branding. It's about the heart. It's about the soul. Like, in the sneaker community, and this is something that is really important, like, because like you just said, we might as well be wearing fakes, bro. We might as well be wearing fakes at this point, because the person that sat down or put a team together to agonize over the design of this shoe is no longer involved. And it's not an amicable thing. It's not like he's giving it over to you in an amicable fashion. You've taken it from him, and now you're saying, we own this, so we're going to use it. And it's like, there's no positive vibe, no positive energy around the shoe. You get me? Like, don't get me wrong. The ones that I've bought, I'm rocking them to whenever, because I love Yeezys, bro. And no one can tell me nothing. You get me? Like, because if you want to dig into the past and dig into the into what people have done, designers have done. You get me? People out there, go Google Hugo Boss, go Google Coco Chanel, go Google these man and find out what these men have done. You get me? Balenciaga's getting a lot of shine right now. You might want to see what they're doing right now. Like, no, whoever's without sin cast the first stone. Don't look to your clothing designer to be virtuous and perfect. Just wear the shoes, bro. Like, forget all this thing. Just wear the shoes and enjoy the shoes for what they are. They are shoes, they are clothes. Just enjoy them for what they are, man.
They don't really have no innovative designs. We would buy an Ultra Boost for those runner type aesthetics. No one's paying those 180s for an Ultra Boost when you're going to get a New Balance. Yes, New Balance is expensive, but when you buy a New Balance, you don't need no more New Balance. You're good in it. You're good for a long time. Like, the quality, materials, build, construction. Like, I don't have that many anymore. I have a couple 2002Rs, some 550s, and I like New Balances take over the running market. Nike is the Goliath that will never be moved. Jordan's there as well. Where does Adidas fit in the shoe market? And I feel like by copycatting one of their own designers, that's going to put off future designers. So that look of build, like, Jerry Lorenzo must be looking at his Fear of God and being like, my goodness me, are we going to get Fear? Are we going to get similar or oversized clothes just sitting in JD now? But there's a reason Adidas give you that much creative control, so you can create and they can control. Do you know what I mean?
Wow. ACS with the bars. No, I love it. It's the truth. He's saying the truth. You create and they control. Adidas are killing it right now, man. Come on, Adidas. You need to up your game, my guy. You need to up your game. In the sneaker industry, in the sneaker community, we have a really weird relationship with fakes, right? Some people will have you believe that, okay, fakes are the devil, terrible, we hate fakes. And some people will have you, like, will have you thinking, you know what, yeah? There's fakes, then there's UAs. Where do you sit on the whole fake, unauthorized rep, unauthorized, authorized? Where do you sit in that realm?
I just don't see the point. It's almost like buying a Ford Focus and sticking on a Rolls Royce, the thing on it. It's like you have the look of it, but it's not the core of it. Like you said, the heart, the soul of why you're buying it. So listen, I grew up in a council estate where people sell everything fake. Fake football shirts, fake Louis Vuitton bags, fake glasses, fake Stone Island, fake this, that, the other. And I grew up and I've seen it. And we used to have a guy come knock on the door and he would sell fakes and that. It's like the traveling.
I think the same guy came to my yard as well.
Listen, it's one of the things. I don't begrudge people buying fakes. If you want things to look nice and you can't afford to pay those prices, but you just want to, then that's your money. But I see it in a similar way to like how people would see renting, for example. So if you like, people say, "Oh, it's dead money," because that's what it is. Like, at least when you're buying a genuine product, like let's say you go out and buy a Louis Vuitton bag for your wife or your husband or your wife or your missus, whatever. If she decides in a year or two's time that she doesn't want it, you can sell that and make money back. You can't do that with a fake unless you're trying to scam someone. Mm-hmm. Do you know what I'm saying? So that the whole scamming side of it makes it look like a lot more, like you say, more deceitful, a little bit more devilish. But I feel like I know people that wear fakes. I don't look at them any different as a person. They just don't want to spend. They look at me how some people would look at them. So like if somebody looked at them and like, oh, you're wearing fakes, they would look back at them and say, you're paying $200 for them shoes.
And to be honest, certain times where, like, especially when you start talking resale, when you start paying resale, when you're paying like $200, $300, $400 for a pair of shoes, some people are gonna look at you like you're nuts, bro. You're nuts. You got a family. You know what I'm saying? Cost of living has just gone up. You're crazy. So like, I just feel like the relationship between fake and real, I feel like it's so weird right now because, like, especially when you start diving into the whole UA thing, like it's made in the same factory with the same materials, but just not sold by a Nike. It's like, where do you draw the line, bro? Where do you draw the line of what's real and what's not? When it's the same material, it's the same factory, it's the same person.
Yeah.
But it's just not sold by the same company.
It's definitely a difficult situation to deal with, because draw the line? Like even in some cases, you can spot a UA because it's so much more perfect than the actual thing because the not as good. And like that's terrible. That should never happen where the UA is better. I still personally feel like although all of those things add up and make the same thing, without it, it's like, for example, like I always bring it back to football because I'm a huge fan of football. I'm a Liverpool fan. Always been a Liverpool fan, even though I don't sound like I'm from Liverpool. And even just like the merchandise stalls outside, which used to be an opportunity for fans to get scarves, they were charging like £25 a teddy, like a little teddy. I was going to get my 3 kids one. I was like, £75 on your bike. Man. You know what I mean? Like, Nike is that is the problem with Nike. They just see us as the bottom line. Like this T-shirt like is not worth what I paid for it, and I only paid £40 for it. But this T-shirt is probably like a River Island T-shirt with that jumped on it. Do you know what I mean? Like, so I get, again, that kind of ties into the UA side of things. I get why people are going for UAs. If you can get like the lost and founds, although I don't understand why they charge you more than retail for them, because I believe I heard a conversation on a podcast where like the lost and found UAs were like $250. That makes no sense to me.
That's
resale
crazy.
On them in my size in particular, I think it's $350, $400. I just pay the extra $100 in my case. What it really boils down to is, what do you find valuable to you? What can you afford to buy, and what are you prepared to wear? If somebody caught me slipping in a pair of fakes, I'd never leave the house again. Like, it's even when I buy shoes off retail, like I buy a lot off eBay. So, for example, I got these from eBay. I've been chasing these for years, and was really happy to get them. So I got the True Blue Jordan 3s. I haven't took the tag off yet because I haven't worn them. But the minute they came in, I'm legit checking. I'm smelling them. I'm feeling them. I went onto Check's legit check app. I went over to a bunch of people that I knew that had them and was like, "What's the shape like? What does the color look like? Does the heel look right?" And I feel like in a way, because of how bad fakes are, it's made me look at things in a much more detailed way. And because obviously we do reviews as well, we kind of get to, what feels good and what feels bad. Do you know what I mean? Like Pat, who we mentioned earlier on, he ended up getting lumbered with a pair of University Blue 4s that were fake. And in his review, you could see him squeezing it. It's like, this ain't right. And like, he talked about it on our podcast as well. And like when you are around shoes as much as we are, I know you have the store and all that as well. And obviously you're a collector. You know what's real and what's not. Stuff. Like eBay, shouts to them. I've bought a lot from them recently. They've all been good.
Okay, we need to get into this, yeah. We need to get into this, bro. Because I was even gonna say to you, like, best to worst, eBay, Go, or StockX, but I think I know I think I know what's best, and I definitely know what's worst. You get me? Like, so like that whole thing with StockX and that sort of sly, dirty move that they try to pull, that verification versus authentication, bro. What is that about?
That's literally sleight of hand as well, because like somebody has to be very visual on there, because it's not something they announced. It wasn't on any of the publications, and I guarantee it would have been at the bottom of an email somewhere. Like, you only got an email saying price drop on X shoe you've looked at, and at the bottom they'll say, FYI, we're changing our policies. I actually went on because there's a pair of shoes I really want. It's the Air Max 1 Live Together. eBay don't have any at all. So I went on to compare the price to see what it was going to be like. And I was like, I saw it, and it's now, it used to say 100% authentic guaranteed, and now it just says condition new. No, not a. I left.
Oh my days! So literally, these men are literally like, okay, they're getting the shoe, and it's like,
yeah,
that's good.
Yeah.
Bro, that's nuts. 100%. Especially considering where they were and what they used to like profess. 100% authentic. Like they're the cornerstone of authenticity in our industry. And now it's just bro, like, yes, StockX, man, up your game. There's a few people out here that are knocking on the door. Like,
eBay is kicking down the door.
Knocking on the door. You've got eBay with their authenticity. Bro, eBay are out here and they want that market share, and I respect it, because I've been on eBay for a minute. I've got strong numbers on eBay, buying and selling. I respect that they've been so aggressive in this area, man, and the fact that they sort of valued authenticity. Like, because a lot of the shoes that we're dealing with are over £100. And for obviously anyone that doesn't know, if you buy a pair of shoes on eBay that's over £100, or I believe over $100 in the US, it will be authenticated before it comes to you. So, and I've watched videos. A lot of shoes are getting caught when it comes to the whole fake game, and when it comes to sort of StockX and what they're doing, and just the change in the industry. I'm here for it, because nothing's forever. And this is something I even say about Nike, man. Nike are there, they're the Goliath, like you mentioned. Like, they're pretty immovable as it stands now. But like, we've seen in this day and age with the cancel culture that we're currently in, and things can change, bro. Things can change. Like, if what happened to Kanye happened to Michael Jordan.
I think Nike are difficult. Like, Jordan 100%. Is untouchable in a way. As long as he keeps his nose clean for the rest of his life, he is going to be the greatest sportsman of all time. And he probably already is to a lot of people. I know people like you can't.
Yeah, I think
he's
for
just
a lot of people,
immovable, isn't he? He's the giant. He's the goat.
Definitely top 3, right?
Unreal.
Yeah, and definitely in terms of brands, in terms of like sports fashion, I think he's pretty untouchable. Imagine you're on a desert island, cast away, and you got 2 pair of kicks with you. What 2 pairs of shoes are you bringing, and why?
I need something that's all-purpose, and the best all-purpose shoe is the Croc.
Talk to me.
Because if I get caught in the water, it's gonna let the water out. It's comfortable. The Croc would be my number 1, just because it's all-purpose. It's like my Swiss Army knife, and then because I do like my kicks, so I do. Even if I'm dead, I want to make sure that my corpse is wearing some fresh heat. Do you know what I mean? So I think it would be my all-time favorite kick, which would be the Air Max 90 infrared. I can lie there, be on the beach when it's over. They'll come and they'll find my body and they'll be like, you know what? He knew his shoes. He knew his shoes. You know what I mean?
That's definitely a hard shoe, man. The infrared is super, super hard, man. Yeah, we like that. And the Croc, I recently, because Crocs obviously in the sneaker industry, they've gone up and down, man. Even though they looked weird, I was like, bro, I'm here for it if it's comfortable.
You're
Sports mode, come
listen,
on.
it's like if you get Creps, you'll never want to wear anything else. And brother, I'm sat here right now wearing my Crocs.
We're gonna do some quick fires, bro. You ready? All right. Now, one thing I'm asking you with these quick fires, bro, I just need you to answer with your chest. You get me? I don't want no dilly dally. You know me. I don't play games.
Okay.
No dilly dally, bro.
Let's
I
do
need it to be fast. You get me? Do we agree? All right. We're going in 3, 2, 1. Number one, big one. Nike or Adidas?
Nike.
Can you wear Nike and Adidas together? Yes or no?
Not a chance.
What's your Jordan number?
3.
YouTube, Instagram, or TikTok?
YouTube.
Laces or slip-ons?
God, laces.
Default laces, or are you doing patterns with your laces?
Default, I'm lazy.
Custom design or factory settings?
Factory settings, lazy.
Socks or barefoot?
Socks, don't wear barefoot. Nah.
So you're not that lazy.
Socks are the first thing I put on in the morning, bro. I don't need to see my cracked heels.
I didn't want it. Comfort or style?
Comfort always.
Fresh and clean or beaten and battered?
Fresh and clean.
Washing machine or hand wash?
Hand wash to death.
Lows, mids or highs?
Lows at the minute.
Respect it. Triple blacks or white on whites?
White on white.
Respect it. I respect it.
A little bit,
It's
a little bit extra. I can't wear all black kicks. I feel like I'm about to rob someone's yard. So
you get me? Sometimes with the all blacks, you feel like a little bit of a motive. You get me? You feel like you got something going on.
Where's the money at? Like, that's what you know what I'm saying?
You did very well, my guy. You did really, really well. You got all the questions right. 100%. 10 out of 10. I don't even know if there are 10 questions.
I'll take it.
No worries at all, man. Aiden, I'm gonna ask you something, bro, and I feel like you're like in a great place in terms of your knowledge and in terms of who you are to answer this. What is a sneakerhead?
Whew. Oh, you put me on the spot with this one. You're just gonna get clipped. I feel like a sneakerhead to me is just somebody who has a passion for sneakers. I don't think it has anything to do with the amount of sneakers you have, the amount of sneakers you want to have, or anything like that. You could be for me, you could be a sneakerhead as long as you have a passion for sneakers. And if you're just at the start of your journey, you're in the middle of your journey, you're at the end of the journey, we're all at different stages. I started in 2020. You started before me. A lot of other people started well before me. Like people like I speak to on a regular basis. I'm going to shout him out, Sneakerhead Jossie. He tells me he was collecting the 95s back in 95. I wasn't born till 96. I wasn't even here. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, so I respect the OGs, but I also feel like just do your thing and enjoy it. Being a sneakerhead is one of the best things you can be because the community is incredible. As long as you don't get the trolls, like we say. But it's just it's a hobby. And it shouldn't be taken any more serious than that. It's a hobby. Don't skint yourself. Don't get yourself in debt for it. Don't chase these hype stuff. Just get it, enjoy it, and wear them. Flipping out, wear them. Don't keep them all on ice, man. Wear your stuff. It's a long answer to a short question, but that's for me the answer.
I respect it, bro. Follow up to that. Are you a sneakerhead?
Oh, yeah, I think so. Yeah, I'd like to think so. I think if there was a gatekeeper who said, oh, you're 2020, you got some ways to go, probably to not. But yeah, it's like asking somebody if they're a football fan. Like, but by saying you can't be a football fan if you've never been to a ground. Oh, sorry.
No, it's calm. It's calm.
Just clip that out. Sorry about that. It's just ridiculous to even say that to somebody. Like, you can't enjoy the sport because you've never been to a stadium. Do you know how hard it is to get tickets to a stadium?
Expensive now, bro.
Do you know what I'm saying? It's like shoes. Everything in life we're being priced out of. So just if somebody can enjoy, some people might get 2 pairs of shoes a year. For example, I was that kid that got 2 pairs of shoes a year. One on my birthday, one at Christmas. Coincidentally, my birthday's 2 weeks after Christmas. That's a long 12 months with no Creps, bro.
Bro, you were waiting, bro.
I was waiting.
Father Christmas needed to bring something strong.
Listen, I was so fed up of wearing the same kicks. I decided to trash them and put a hole in the big toe. My mum made me wear them from October till January. She didn't even give me the Christmas ones. She made me wait till my birthday in holy shoes. That woman was not being tested by me. Like, so, yeah.
Respect to ACS's mum for that. I would have done the same thing.
She saw me do
this little rapscallion, bro. That's what I'm saying. Yeah, they ain't getting past me. She's seen it all. ACS, Aiden, this has been your Kicks Chronicles, my guy. Thank you so much for being on the podcast. I really, really appreciate you. Do me a favor, tell the tens of millions of people that are going to watch this or going to listen to this podcast. Tell them what you got going on and tell them how they can get involved with what you've got going on.
Oh, definitely. First and foremost, I do appreciate you bringing me on, man. I mean, I'm not going to lie. When I got the message, I was like, all right, here we go. Quite excited to get into it. So I definitely appreciate you having me on. If you want to find me outside of this, you can find me at ACS Sneakers everywhere. Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube. On YouTube, we're pushing for 5K and 1 million views by next year. We're on the journey. We're doing lots of reviews. We're trying to do some vlogging as well. We got like plenty of content coming out. I'm pretty regular, 3-4 videos a week, all different kinds of shoes. So if you're not really into Nikes, Adidas, and New Balance, we've got something else for you. Do you know what I mean? We'll figure it out. So if you want to find me, ACS Sneakers on everything, and yeah, that's pretty much it. That's just me.
Awesome, bro. So yeah, you already know. Go and support my guy. He's like an amazing YouTuber, an amazing sneaker influencer. Make sure you go and check out his reviews. As I said, he's fantastic. He's one of the first people I look for when I'm on YouTube. You get me? Because like, apart from the fact that he's like a genuine guy, bro, he puts effort into his stuff.
I got to win it. The face ain't gonna win me no viewers. Hard work.
Oh my days, this guy, the video, you get me? Like, there was the Thank you so much for being a part of this. I really respect it, man. It's been a long time. Needed to bring it back, and I needed and I was thinking like of a pool of people that I could, you know what, reach out to and say, you know what, Kicks Chronicles is coming back, man. We need to bring it back, and I want to talk to some people that I feel like want to have this conversation, and I feel like we've had a great conversation.
Oh, absolutely. Okay, where's the watch back? See all my bloopers.
Don't worry about anything, bro. It's all perfect, man. It happened the way it was meant to happen, man. And that's why the bleep's there for a reason. You get me? Trying to keep that monetizing.
Definitely. I respect.
All right, people. So yeah, with all that being said, Kicks Chronicles, it's been your boy PROZECH. We're signing out. Stay blessed.
Peace.
Thank you for listening to this episode of Kicks Chronicles. Please make sure to like, comment, subscribe, share, rate, review, and all that good stuff. And remember, full video version is available on YouTube, audio versions available on Spotify and Apple Podcasts.